Hello, 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 everyone. I hope you are ready for Augusta University's #1 late night, or in this case, early morning show, Wake Up and Roar Live. It's time to kickstart your day with a blend of entertainment, energy, enlightenment, and Jaguar Java, the official coffee for Augusta University. I'm Rayshawn, the MC for today, and we're about to dive headfirst into a show you do not want to miss. Today's show is packed with insights from across the university. Dr. MacKinnon, our Provost, will soon be engaging with conversations with 3 exceptional individuals who are making their mark in various fields to make our university like no other. But before we jump into that, let's give another warm round of applause for the star of the hour, a driving force behind the academic excellence at our institution. Please welcome again our Provost, Dr. Neil MacKinnon.
I don't know if they missed me or not, but it's nice to be back anyway.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So, Rachel, we've had a few celebrities already. We heard from Steve Harvey, at least in his voice earlier. We heard from President Keel. I've also heard you were kind of working on another celebrity for today. Is that right? Someone that you met in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend I had the opportunity to go see my good cousin Beyonce in concert. I tried to get her to come this morning, but she's not a morning person, and she has something else to do tonight in Atlanta, so she sends her warm regards to Augusta.
All right. Well, I guess next year? We'll work on her for next year?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we won't have Beyonce here today, but we do have, I think, some amazing guests. So maybe, Rayshawn, you ready for this? You want to introduce our first guest?
Of course. Put your hands together and get ready to meet our first guest of the morning. Our first guest is no stranger to the world of higher education leadership. She is the Vice President for Enrollment and Student Affairs, juggling her impressive career with her love for farming and her animals. So please give a warm welcome to the dynamic Dr. Susan Davies.
Woo. Thank you.
All right, Susan.
Hello.
So have a seat.
With you. Thank you.
All right.
Now, am I going to get some of that Jaguar Java? What's in your cup?
Well, we'll have to talk afterwards. Well, it's great to see you, and I know you've got just a few things going on right now, so thank you for taking some time out of your schedule just to be with us. And it's okay we couldn't get Beyonce. I think you're even a higher level, so there we go. So we're good. But in all seriousness, I just wanted to ask you just a few questions, if that's okay, just as a guest on our show. We shared, of course, a few moments ago about our own enrollment, but you're really one of our enrollment gurus on campus with you and your team, and a national leader. Or just maybe you could share what's going on in higher education with enrollment, maybe either nationally or statewide.
Sure, thank you so much for inviting me. It's great to be here and see such a wonderful and enthusiastic crowd as well, so really fantastic. Nationally, let's talk about graduate enrollment first. So graduate enrollment nationally has gone down 1.2% from fall 21 to fall 22 across the country. And there are some programs, though, that have seen a consistent increase in graduate enrollment. And fortunately, we have many of those programs here at Augusta University. So you can see that our enrollment has grown, as Dr. MacKinnon showed you earlier. And within the state, from fall 21 to fall 22, two of the 4 research universities in the state actually went down in graduate enrollment, the University of Georgia and Georgia State. But Georgia Tech and Augusta University both went up in graduate enrollment. So again, I think it's our collection of programs combined with our stellar College of Education and Human Development that is really growing our enrollment in graduate education. On the undergraduate side, the big deals right now nationally and also in our state are test optional, as well as the changing demographics of the students who are graduating from high school and how those numbers are going down. We will see fewer students graduating from high school in the next several years, and more of those students are really going to want to be test optional. They don't really want to take the SAT and ACT anymore, and they're not going to do it.
Who would?
So those are some of the biggest changes that we're seeing. And the test optional, of course, has an impact on community college enrollment, because if students can be test optional, enroll at a 4-year university, why would they go to a community college for some of them? And so therefore our transfer enrollment may be impacted by that.
Great, okay. Well, hey, again, we appreciate your insights, and of course, it's working, whatever we're doing. I mean, just to be up when nationally things are down and across the state, so just want to thank you for that. Now, you and I, there's something I mentioned that, folks may not have totally made the most excitement, but I mentioned, the strategic enrollment management plan.
Very exciting.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you and I are probably two of the few in the world that get excited about that. So I was wondering if you could talk maybe a little bit more about that document and kind of how we're using it, looking at student retention, enrollment, things like that.
Well, if everybody hasn't read the Strategic Enrollment Management Plan yet, they're really missing out. I mean, it is a fantastic document, very compelling read. And it tracks how we are going to reach our goal of 16,000 students by 2030. When President Kiel gave us that aspirational goal several years ago, I wasn't so sure about him. But now I see that we are going to meet that aspirational goal because our Strategic Enrollment Management Plan outlines how we're going to do it. And I think we are on track to meet the goal that we had set for ourselves this year. So really, reaching this enrollment is not just luck. Yeah. It's about strategy, and we've had a lot of strategy behind that. Everything from determining the academic programs that will yield enrollment growth, which our deans have been working with institutional effectiveness on that, to the data analytics that you discussed earlier, to all of the work we're doing with retention and retaining our students. So it takes everyone to make this happen, and I have immense gratitude for our faculty and staff who've allowed this to happen for us. We've definitely made Augusta University a destination of choice.
That's fantastic, and I think what folks may not realize is that you, Mickey Williford, and I also have a meeting once a year with the University System of Georgia, where we're asked kind of hard questions about, why we aren't meeting maybe certain enrollment targets with programs. So we're not off easy on any way. We're certainly held accountable as well. Well, President Kiel, mentioned kind of the situation around OCAL. And I know, again, your team certainly with housing has borne a lot of the brunt of as far as reassigning rooms, working with other leaders around the university for, whether it's bus transportation or laundry service. I mean, there's so many implications. I was just wondering today, maybe how could the faculty and staff, either that are here or listening, how could they be a part as far as encouraging and supporting our students who are displaced this semester?
Well, when we first heard about OCAL not opening, we were all heartbroken because this is not what we wanted for our new first-year students, and we know that this was an abrupt transition for them. But I am optimistic that we are going to be able to provide an excellent experience for them, an experience that really allows them to enjoy their first year, get to their classes on time, and be excellent students. But I will say that what we need from everyone is for us to really let that light shine behind our value of compassion and grace. So please just give those students grace. There are 10 RAs who are living with the students in the 7 different properties. We have worked hard to make sure everything will run well in terms of transportation, but things are going to happen. Many of these students are living downtown and they have to cross a train track to get to class on time. Everybody knows about the trains in Augusta, right? So students may be late for class, and that's not going to be their fault. So I'm just asking for the faculty members and our staff members just to show grace, show compassion to these students, and also, think about creative ways that we can go to them. We've tried to group all of the students by major if we can. So for example, most of the students in the School of Computer and Cyber Sciences are going to be living at the Marriott, which is just right down the block away from the Georgia Cyber Center. What can the school do to get those students more engaged early on to create an academic home for those students in their freshman year?
That's great. And I think you're still looking for volunteers for this Saturday too, right, for move-in?
Yes, indeed. We need 250 volunteers, and as of last Friday, we needed 80 more to reach that number. So I'm a huge fan of sporting your JAG swag. You will get a move-in t-shirt. It's green. It looks really good if you volunteer at move-in. But seriously, we need all hands on deck to help welcome these students and also just help them feel good about the place where they're moving in. When they can see all of our faces welcoming them and helping them, that will give them the reassurance and their parents the reinsurance they need to know that we've got them.
Well, I know those shirts are pretty smart. I saw one of our students wearing one yesterday at the gym, so they've gone viral. So definitely, if you want one of those T-shirts, but more importantly, please help Susan and her team with moving this Saturday. We're not going to let you off the hook yet. I have a special question that our host, Rayshawn, has prepared. So I'm not sure what is in this, but if you want to reach in and grab one question and answer it to the best of your ability. You want me to read it?
You can read it for me.
All right, here we go. What would be your dream elective course at Augusta University, and what would you name it?
Based upon the last couple of weeks, I think I would create a new wellness course called The Power of Napping.
Well done. All right. Let's hear it up for Dr. Susan Davies.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Rayshawn, who do you have next?
And now, get ready to be inspired by our next guest, a man of determination and endurance. He's not just the director of the Georgia Cancer Center, he's also a marathon enthusiast with an ambitious goal of conquering the 6 major marathons around the world. He's already ran in 4 of those 6 marathons. Let's give a warm juggle welcome to the unstoppable Dr. Jorge Cortez.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right, have a seat.
Thank you.
I gotta say, Dr. Cortez, I'm surprised you're not holding a cup of coffee. I remember a few months ago you shared with me at an event how many cups of coffee you drink a day. Are you willing to share that with the audience today?
When I'm trying to cut down, 8.
In a medical school, how many was it?
When I'm doing rounds like today, 15 to 20 maybe.
So 15 to 20, There we go. This is not coffee in here. You can't have it. No, just kidding.
There's more outside, I think.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. And of course, as you know, our second aspirational imperative for universities is around research. And of course, a big part of that is the research going on at the Georgia Cancer Center. I was wondering if you could just share a little bit about maybe the scale or scope or just some of the research activities going on at the Georgia Cancer Center.
Yeah, we have fantastic research at the Georgia Cancer Center. That's one of the things that attracted me here when I was looking into this position. Just the variety of research around cancer that we have. Some of them housed in the Cancer Center and some around campus. I've discovered some fantastic collaborators in many of our different colleges and departments. But we have 2 main laboratory research-based programs. One is cancer immunology. That's really a very hot topic in cancer research. There's a lot of advances there, therapeutics that have come based on that. But we have some of the pioneers based on cancer on immunology at the Cancer Center. Dr. Mann and Dr. Johnson have developed some discovered some novel ways of the cancer evading the immune system, and they develop now therapies that attack that. And we have Yukai Hei developing these new cellular therapies against liver cancer. You mentioned one of our new recruits, the leader of the immunology program, Dr. Lynn Hedrick, who's done some outstanding job also leading that program. And then we have a program for molecular oncology and biomarkers. We have some of the leaders in this field looking at chaperones, developing biomarkers, Dr. Chadley, Dr. Mivechi, doing great work in those areas. And then we have a very good group of population sciences, which is another field that we're trying to develop more and bring more into that field of research. You talk about the importance of reaching out to the community, and that's one way that we're doing it. And then, of course, we have fantastic clinical research. We're growing our portfolio of clinical research so we can offer the best for our patients in the clinic.
Great. Well, I know you're an active researcher yourself. You also provide patient care. I know. I almost felt bad. Dr. Cortez was providing patient care this morning and took a break to come join us today. So I hope no patients were harmed because of that. But just thank you for stepping out.
I think they're better off when I'm out.
Oh, are they? Okay. Well, I know, as folks know, one thing that sets a lot of cancer centers apart nationally is NCI, National Cancer Institute designation. I know it's something that you're working on. Maybe just an update on why should we care and kind of where we are in the process.
Yeah, that's a big goal, and that's really the main reason that I'm here. I want to get us to get the NCI designation. One important thing to know is, well, the NCI designation means it's a big grant. It's called the Cancer Center Support Grant, CCSG, and it's a recognition of the great research that you do for the patients, the community outreach, the clinical trials, and just when you can demonstrate that you put all of these things together, the NCI gives that recognition. One thing that's a bit of a chip in our shoulder is the fact that of the 10 largest states by population in the country, Georgia is the only one that has only one NCI designated cancer center, Emory. The Winship Cancer Center, it's an NCI designated cancer center, but that's it. Every other of the top 10 states has 2 or more NCI-designated cancer centers. We have all the elements. We are a little bit on the small side. We need to grow, but just looking at our investigators, you mentioned in so many areas where AU punches above its weight. We do the same in the cancer center. The amount of grants per individual that we bring is higher than many of these newly developed NCI-designated cancer centers. We just need to continue attracting more, and fortunately we've recruited some very good people, and we continue doing that. But I think that's going to, and very importantly, that's going to help our community. We're going to be able to bring more research, more education, more clinical trials, all of these things to the community.
Well, and who knows, maybe the WellStar partnership will expand our ability for larger clinical trials as well.
I think that'll help us, definitely.
That's great.
Yes.
Well, hey, Dr. Cordes, I can't let you leave without talking about Paceline, a small little event coming up in October, where, of course, one of your biggest fundraisers, the proceeds go back to support the Georgia Cancer Institute. Any just how could the faculty and staff kind of get involved in it, even if they don't ride a bike? How can folks support Paceline?
Paceline is a fantastic event. It's a bike ride that we do every year. It's going to be October 15 this year. We have a 25-mile, a 50-mile, a 70-mile ride. And it's a ride, it's not a race, so it's, everybody does it at their own pace. There's also a cyber circuit around downtown, which is a mile loop that people that don't feel like doing 25 miles, they can do that. And if I've done it, anybody can do it. So,
but is there a prize though for first place? Because my money's on either Dean Warren or Dean Austin, because they're pretty hardcore cyclists.
Again, it's not a prize, but what it is it's a fundraising event where every dollar that we raise through Paceline comes back to support the research at the Cancer Center. This started in 2019. And so far, we have raised more than $1 million that have come back to support the clinical research, the research in different areas in the Georgia Cancer Center. We just recently, last week, had the award distribution from last year, $400,000. Fantastic programs in research in the laboratory, community outreach programs, some for our postdoctoral fellows, and so some great research. I think everybody can participate, and very importantly, it's more than just a fundraising, it's a community event. We want to show people that Augusta is together, raising awareness about cancer. Very importantly, physical activity is an important element of prevention of cancer. So we also want to promote that as a health activity. So it's really a full event that we want to promote. So I invite everybody to sign up. There's a table outside.
Oh, there happens to be a table. What a coincidence.
I don't know how it happened, but hey, it's there. So I think that now I see a bunch of riders here. I really invite everybody to participate.
That's great. Well, hey, we can't let you leave without drawing a secret question.
Let's see.
All right, you want me to read it there?
All right.
Okay. Why is the Georgia Cancer Center the best cancer center? No, that's right. That's all right. Oh, this is President Keel, I hope you're listening to this one. You've been appointed Augusta University president for a day. What is your first order of business? All right.
Is Dr. Keel still here?
Yeah, he's still there. He's actually looking at you right now.
I want to make sure I hear this.
Well, I think that what I want to do is to recruit another round of these fantastic people that have come. I mean, we just saw the people that stood up, the new recruits in the last year. We at the Cancer Center have been beneficiaries of some of them. I think if we continue recruiting that, then I hope I can continue that trend. I mean, the sky's the limit for this place.
So President Keel, do you need security to escort him off? You're good. All right.
Do I get a stuffed jaguar? Thank you very much.
So we have our last guest. I think we have one more, right, Rayshawn? You want to introduce our last guest?
That's right. Last but certainly not least, our final guest for the morning brings a touch of island charm to our stage. Originally from Jamaica, she's an assistant professor from the College of Nursing and has a deep passion for fishing in the Savannah River. With a personal best bass fishing weighing over 7 pounds, she knows how to reel in both impressive catches and the hearts of everyone she meets. Please join me in welcoming the amazing Colleen Walters.
Woo! That's the first test. Can you get on the stage?
I know, I'm not fall.
All right. Welcome,
Thank you,
welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
All right. Well, this doesn't really feel like the Caribbean up here, unfortunately, but hopefully you'll feel at home. And again, it's great to have you as our final guest. Kind of a historic moment, our first 3 guests ever on the show. So as you know, our third aspirational imperative as a university is around community engagement. And one reason we wanted to have you as a guest on the show, Colleen, was your engagement, where you've done a lot locally. Maybe just sharing a little bit, because you're busy as a faculty member too. So wondering how your community engagement kind of fits with your time and the other things you do as a faculty member.
Thank you. The College of Nursing, I believe, does an excellent job at community engagement. And we have courses that are aligned to several signature projects that we've had for several years. So at some point in our curriculum, our students at the undergrad or the graduate level and our faculty have the opportunity to engage in these projects for credit, for scholarship opportunities. So I think because of that, I'm able to tick several boxes with the community engagement that I've been a part of. We also have this strong support from our leaders to take our scholarships and help where, and our practice to where we can engage the community and bring our learners along. So again, we have, ticking several boxes. So I know community engagement can be daunting, because there are a lot of moving parts to meet the community's needs and to meet our learners' needs and for our own development. For example, I've engaged in several, like you have said, several activities, and one is with my practice at family medicine. We have a partnership with Augusta Locally Grown, and we have our patients who are in a food desert. Sometimes I feel like the campus is a food desert.
Well, yeah.
But we facilitate an intense lifestyle medicine program, and so we're meeting our patients' needs, and we also bring students along. I have undergraduate students who are engaging with our patients, taking vital signs. I have graduate students along with the residents who are doing joint quality improvement projects and helping to evaluate the impact that the intense lifestyle medicine program is having. So that's an example of some of the things I do with the collaboration of the College of Nursing, my practice. Again, ticking all those boxes.
That's
with
fantastic.
just one project.
Well, no, that's really inspiring, and also the fact you can juggle that within your other duties as a faculty member. Now, I also know, Colleen, you teach in the BSN program, you teach in the nurse practitioner program. So I was wondering, how does your community engagement how do you bring that into the classroom, or how does it make you a better educator as well?
So community engagement, like I said before, has a lot of pieces, and we're all educators here, and you have a didactic class, you have some control, you have a lab, you have some control. Community engagement is quite different. So skills of leadership, communication, flexibility, humility. I have Doctor of Nursing practice students who are across the state of Georgia. They're engaged in their own community for their projects, and there are topics that I'm not an expert in, right? And I'm their team lead. At any given point, I have about 10 to 20 students engaging with them with their DNP projects. So it really takes, for me, it has expanded me as an educator and has helped me to grow in many areas. And role modeling with my students, because they're starting their DNP, they're leading, they're implementing these projects in the community, they're engaging with at a leadership level with the community leaders, and it can be daunting for them. And so I remember one student got engaged with the project, and then just some miscommunication, and the student felt like the community leaders were just, not understanding. So we had a meeting together, and we clearly communicated what the value the student brought to the problem that the community leaders had presented to us. And it was just remarkable how we got them all on board. This particular student actually presented at the Graduate Research Day and won a prize for their project, and then graduated, and just profound impact, I'm sure, on them and the community as a result.
Well, I like what you said. I mean, the linkage between community engagement and research, we probably usually don't think about that, and clearly, like you said, you've been able to cross that bridge between community engagement in the classroom too. Right. So that's really exciting. Well, I've got one more question before I have you do the bowl question, and that is, when we think of community engagement, often we're thinking locally, but also as we spoke earlier, it's also international. And you've been one of our faculty that's been very engaged in the Scotland Rural Health Initiative. Maybe just tell us a little bit about your involvement in that.
Well, thank you. Yes, so I was so excited when the Converge started, and to have leadership at the institutional level that supported international community engagement. My Master's of Nursing Education looked at high impact learning and looked at transformative learning and critical reflection and what modalities facilitate this. And it was actually community engagement and international, at the time the language was service learning. This is almost a decade ago, if you can believe that. But I developed study abroad programs, Cuba, Haiti, Guadalajara, Mexico. And so seeing the opportunity that you presented and becoming one of the recipients, I'm now working with Robert Gordon University. And the reciprocity piece is big, right? To make sure we're not going there for our learners, but also giving them the opportunity to come to us. So Debbie Wilson, lead faculty in the university at Robert Gordon, and so she came to us, she engaged with my students. We created learning modules together where right now we have a pilot that's collecting data on the learning that took place. Debbie's preparing her students, her graduate nursing students, to come to us, and I'm preparing, hopefully 2024 in June, to take our nurse practitioner students there, and we're organizing the community engagement piece. I mean, we'll be going into Peterhead, this rural community that needs support for their nurses, and there's a local opportunity also in the city of Aberdeen. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So thank you.
Well, no, just thank you for just seizing that opportunity, and clearly who's going to benefit the most are the students
and the patients,
and the patients as well, ultimately, right? So very good. I knew you would say this as a nurse, so that's good.
Dr. Keel.
Okay, we're not going to let you off the hook here. I don't think you're going to have a question about being a president for a day, but there might be something else in there. Let me read it. All right.
Don't let it be anything.
Here we go. Wow, this is interesting. Rayshon, you came up with some great questions this year. If Augusta were a flavor of ice cream, what do you think it would taste like?
So honestly, being from Jamaica, I love rum and raisin. and I've lived in Georgia for almost 22 years. So like peach ice cream. But now that I've gotten to know the Augusta area for the past 5 years, it's pimento cheese, I think. Right? So it would be like a triple flavor. Pimento cheese, peach, with a swirl of rum and raisin. Right?
Well, I was worried you were going to say haggis ice cream, with the Scotland thing, so probably...
I didn't try haggis, when I was there.
Sheep innards is not a good flavor.
I've tried it, yeah.
So Rayshon, I think, is going to close us out. You've got some words that close us out today, right? Yeah.
Yes, let's give another round of applause for our guest. Thank you for your time this morning, and as a small token of our appreciation, Dr. MacKinnon has something for you.
All right, very good.
Thank you. Can we open it?
You might make people jealous, though. You don't want to get mobbed on the way out.
Dr. MacKinnon, how does it feel to not be in the hot seat this time?
It's been different, yeah. It's been fun. I'm putting others in the hot seat instead. I like it. Yeah.
Well, that concludes our first episode of Wake Up and Roar. Thank you all for coming this morning. Be on the lookout for In the Wild, our university's podcast. Our episodes start back next week, so if you want to hear more of me and hear more from the lovely folks that make our university like no other, stay tuned for that. But thank you all for coming. Woo!